Good morning and welcome back to the Thought of the Day. We are returning to the book of Malachi, today to chapter 2. And we're going to look particularly at verses 10 to 14. And this idea of people having what you might call a two-faced faith. I think it's something that appears here, it's something that appeared in the New Testament, and it's something that appears today as well, I think. So in verse 11, God said that Judah has desecrated the sanctuary the Lord loves by marrying women who worship a foreign god. Verse 12, as for the man who does this, whoever he may be, may the Lord remove him from the tents of Jacob, even though he brings an offering to the Lord Almighty. And then verse 13, God is almost complaining, I suppose, that people are weeping and wailing because he doesn't look on their offerings with favour. And when they ask why, well, it's because, verse 14, the Lord is the witness between you and the wife of your youth. You've been unfaithful to her, though she is your partner, the wife of your marriage covenant. So people are coming and bringing offerings. They're doing the things that the Lord requires in certain respects, but then in others they're just completely going against the laws that are put in front of them. This particularly is looking at divorce and being unfaithful, but obviously will span further than that. And it brings to mind a story in the Gospel of Mark in chapter 11 where Jesus curses the fig tree. This is something that I've spoken about in a couple of other different places. It really kind of resonates with me as somebody who is kind of in professional ministry, if you like, working for the church. This idea, Jesus curses the fig tree because it shows lots of leaves but doesn't have any figs. And a fig tree should only have leaves if it has figs. And so it's presenting itself to be healthy when in reality, it isn't healthy. It doesn't actually bear any fruit. And immediately after Jesus curses the fig tree, he then goes into the temple and does the whole flipping the tables and all that kind of stuff, because the temple is presenting itself to be a healthy sanctuary of God, but in reality it's corrupt and taking advantage of the poor and taking money and things like that. And I feel like this is the same kind of thing here, that people are taking their offerings to God and presenting themselves in front of people as followers of God, but behind closed doors, but not hidden to God, of course. They're then disobeying other laws. In the same way, today we might go to church on a Sunday, online or in person or whatever, and sing the songs and say along with the confession and listen to the sermon and nod and think, oh, that's a very interesting point. But then Monday to Saturday, do we then still follow that? Do we still obey the laws? Do we still live in the way that God wants us to live? Or do we have a two-faced faith that behind closed doors we don't bear fruit? We don't follow the law. We do something completely different. Because God sees all of that. And to use the words in Malachi, be thrown out of the tents. Even though we bring offerings, there will still be punishment. There's still consequences. There's still judgment. So what are we like? Are we like the people in Malachi's time? Or are we living differently? Are we going to live differently in the future? Are we going to be a Christian on Sunday and Monday to Saturday, or just Sunday? And that's chapter 2.